All right, my friend, you ready? Here we
Yes,
go.
sir.
Our next comedian is a husband, father, yoga instructor, and yeah, aspiring corporate speaker and comedian. You want to know what his two best qualities are? He does the dishes and takes out the trash. Please welcome Dutch Martin. Round of applause for Dutch. Yes.
Good boy, Dutch.
Phalanges, metatarsals, talus, tibia, fibula, patella, femur. No, I'm not having a bad reaction to the COVID vaccine. I'm talking about the bones in your body. You think you know your body? Okay, where are your phalanges? No, Chili, those are not your phalanges. Those are your nipples. Those words represent the first time I experienced a sense of urgency. One that taught me a lesson about what you lose by fitting in and what you gain by standing out. Folks, let me tell you about this time I memorized all 206 bones of the human body in 3 days. I grew up in the town where Superman was born, where the baseball team went from the Indians to the Guardians, and the football team is bad no matter what you call them. I grew up in the town where the river catches fire, Cleveland, Ohio. It's September 1985. I just started middle school. And one day my mom tells me that we got to move to Birmingham, Alabama so that she can take care of my grandmother. So later on that month, Mom and I pack up and take a Greyhound bus all the way down to the deep South, where I have to go to a new school, make new friends, and for the first time in my life, learn to speak slang with a Southern accent. This is where fitting in got even harder as a kid. Okay, it was already hard fitting in, all right? See, my mom kept my head in the books. She stressed education and perfect grammar. So unlike the other Black kids I grew up with, English is actually my first language. I'm terrible at slang. Okay, my Ebonics game is not on fleek. I wish they had Rosetta Stone, the Steve Harvey edition, you know? Y'all got to jump. We moved down to Birmingham. Fitting in went from bad to worse. Okay, Black kids in Cleveland told me I talk proper. Black kids in the South told me I talk white. The white kids thought I was too Black. The Black kids didn't think I was Black enough. So even as an Oreo, I didn't fit in. How many times have you opened a pack of Oreo cookies and said, yeah, that's the bad one? Never. But for the first time in my life, I felt like a bad Oreo. Then I met the teacher who changed my life forever. Mr. Ezel was my 6th grade science teacher. He taught science Monday through Friday, was an ordained Baptist preacher on Sunday morning. Now, what he did on Saturday night is between himself, God, and the church secretary. By the time I got there, it was like 3 weeks. He was teaching the skeletal system, you know, the bones of the body. But none of the students could go to the front of the class and list all the bones. That's when I had my first sense of urgency. I'm going to learn all the bones of the body. This is how I'm going to get kids to like me. Now, before the age of the internet, there was the age of the encyclopedia. My grandmother had a vintage volume of the Encyclopedia Britannica. Vintage, untouched, and never opened. The first time I opened them, a big puff of dust hit me in the face. But I was determined. For the next 3 days, I studied the bones of the body like I was trying to get into medical school. I drew pictures of the bones that would have made Vincent van Gogh cut off his other ear. I took copious notes years before I even knew what the word copious meant. Monday morning rolls around, Mr. Ezel asks for a volunteer. I raised my hand. Now, at first he hesitated because I was the new kid, but you know, like the Cleveland Browns, he was desperate for a win, so he said, okay. So I walked to the front of the class next to the 6-foot-long poster of the skeletal system. He gives me the little pointing thingy. I take a deep breath and go for broke. Phalanges, metatarsals, talus, tibia, fibula, patella, femur. The lumbopelvic hip complex consisting of the sacroiliac, sacrum, coccyx, and ilium. Phalanges of the hand, metacarpals, carpals, radius, ulna, humerus, scapula, clavicle, sternum, rib cage. The bones of the skull, my dude behind me, consist of the mandible or jawbone, the maxilla. The three smallest bones in the body located inside the ear are the malleus, incus, and stapes. Moving on up, we have the frontal eminence, parietal eminence, the temporal bones, and the occipital protuberance. Finally, we have the bones of the cervical, thoracic, and lumbar vertebrae. A look of utter rage comes over Mr. Ezel's face. I'm thinking, oh my God, did I miss a bone? He looks at me. He turns to the class and goes full preacher beast mode. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. I've given y'all 3 weeks to learn the bones of the body. And this young man, I said, this young man does it in 3 days. Y'all need to be ashamed of yourselves. Now, I did not make any friends that day. Everybody hated me. I did not fit in. But hey, at least I didn't miss a bone. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you this. What's your sense of urgency? Whatever it is, I hope you feel it deep down in your bones. Dave, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dud. Talk about high energy. Oh, yeah.